The future's now, so we have the chance
to show you war and tragedy through song and dance.
We'll learn the ways, both good and bad, the Western world has grown.
And then we'll find out all the things we've never truly known.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight you'll witness the unthinkable, the entire history of Western civilization in a single evening.
We will take you from the Dark Ages to the Information Age.
From the abacus to the computer.
From Beowulf to Baywatch, we've come so far, haven't we?
Yes, we have, and tonight you'll get it all. How the development of the Western world hinges on the key turning points in history. Many of them triggered by the great visionaries you've all read about. Galileo, Wilford, and Orville Redenbacher, Sigmund Freud, all the great thinkers. And the development of the world's great arts. Like disco.
No, disco sucks.
Edmund Burke once said those who don't understand history are destined to repeat it.
I'm failing history.
I don't know who Edmund Burke is.
In Austin Titchener and Reed Martin's play, we follow Austin and Reed through the important events that shape the Western world. This is a 2-hour play.
And we've only got 10 minutes.
So without further ado, we present Western Civilization, the complete musical.
Abridged. We got the idea of using a computer. The computer puts us on the right path immediately by taking all the information of the past 1,000 years and dividing it into 4 chapters.
The Dark Ages, the Renaissance, the Industrial Revolution,
and the Information Age. We've uploaded these discs in the computer's mainframe. Tonight, the computer will take us through all of Western civilization. Loading Disc 1, Chapter 1, The Dark Ages. Leif Erikson lands in North America, the Crusades, the Magna Carta. The church is intolerant and the world is run by a handful of wealthy white men.
Lento!
Oh, Leif, look at the land. I have never seen such a green, green land.
We'll call it Iceland.
Okay.
Domesday Book. Get yourself registered in the Domesday Book. Name and occupation. Hi, I'm Leif Erikson, Viking Explorer. You should already have me in there. No, I must have taken leave of my senses.
Whoa, hear that wind.
Well, put him in there. This is my Papa Eric the Red.
What are you doing on our ship?
I stowed away fearing the impending apocalypse at the end of the first millennium. By Yemeni, today is the first day of the new millennium, January 1st, 1000.
The new millennium begins in the 1001.
Don't be an ice hole, Papa.
And isn't the Domesday Book in England 100 years from now?
Well, yes, but you Vikings are way off course, and if you're not careful, you might end up in Minnesota.
Why don't you join us on adventures? Here, put these on. We will make you an honorary Viking. We will dub you Sven de Horne.
So if you survive the transition into the new millennium...
Yeah, there was no apocalypse. Together we 4 Vikings will
rule the world. Meanwhile, in the Far East, while in the Vatican, Pope Urban II orders believers to invade the Holy Land. Christian crusades, religion on the go. Yes, it was Pope Urban II who said, "Let's go kill some Arabs for Jesus." Way to go, Popey.
The first Crusaders were slaughtered by Turks. Whoops.
While the son of William the Conqueror took Jerusalem and destroyed countless cultural treasures and almost all of Greek literature. Good job, Junior.
Pope Innocent III sent thousands of youngsters on a children's crusade, but they ended up being sold into slavery. And you thought homework was bad.
Well, the Dark Ages were well and truly over when the Muslims retook Jerusalem and with the signing of the Magna Carta by King John, a truly rotten king with other things on his mind.
Oh dear, dear, a ransom note for my brother Richard the Lionheart, kidnapped in the Crusades. How very tedious considering I have just signed the Magna Carta. Courtiers, sing with me of my great achievements.
Yes, King John.
Magna
Carta.
Beginning of a democratic charter. And even though my feudal lords use intimidation, I saved the country in Western civilization.
He saved the country in Western civilization.
Magna
Carta does everything a legal paper ought.
And even though men with land will only get these rights if they're Caucasian, I saved the country in Western civilization.
He saved the country in Western civilization.
England, that is. The afternoon tea. The inbred royals.
Yeehaw! Chapter 2, the Renaissance. Michelangelo, Galileo, the Spanish Inquisition. The church is intolerant and the world is run by a handful of wealthy white men. Michelangelo!
Hey, Ravioli, how are you, my friend?
Hey, my friend Pistachio, what's that step? She's a doozy. I'm tired. I've got to sit down. Man, have I got to pee.
This Michelangelo, he's making me so mad. I made a bid on the ceiling job, but the Pope says, no, let Michelangelo paint us something fancy. And what does he paint? homoerotic images.
Renaissance men, schmenaissance men.
Hey Michelangelo, there wouldn't even be a Renaissance in Italy if it weren't for Africans bringing art and culture up through Spain.
Hey Michelangelo, why don't you paint something really artistic, like dogs playing poker? We'd like to bring it down.
We're gonna get down. And funky. Funky, not monkey.
Sorry. Hi, I'm Galileo, and I've got a thing for heavenly bodies. On a night like this, I looked up at the sky, saw the moons of Jupiter just flying by. Suddenly I knew the fun had begun. The planets don't move around us, we move around the sun.
Heavenly bodies!
So special, so celestial.
Heavenly bodies!
See how they move up in their nighttime groove. And after a long night of looking up at the sky, everybody needs a break, and so do I. So I go in my room, reach up on the shelf, grab my favorite magazine, and myself.
Heavenly bodies!
My Venus and Uranus.
Heavenly bodies!
This is Galileo wishing you love, peace, and solar eclipse.
Loading Disc 3, Chapter 3, The Industrial Revolution, in which women and unsung heroes make significant contributions to society. Great inventions, the Irish famine. The church is intolerant and the world is run by a handful of wealthy white men. Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Thomas Crapper and I do believe you know my work. The first toilet was invented in 1596, but its widespread success was prevented. They had the commode, but the plumbing wasn't fixed. It took me nearly 200 years to invent, and now my name will forever endure as both a verb and a noun. Things are looking up, take a look at what's going down.
You gotta keep things neat, keep the toilet paper off your feet, and if you're a guy, for God's sakes, put down that seat.
Meanwhile, some places around the world are untouched by progress, such as the third world. Seamus, you and your dog, get in here, your potatoes are getting cold. Now do you want potato juice or potato ale? And where's your dog?
He's out cursing the ground.
Patrick, stop cursing the ground and get in here!
I curse this bloody rock.
Patrick, stop cursing in front of the boy.
I curse the house, and I curse the walls, and I curse the floor, and I curse you, woman.
Calm down and eat your potatoes.
Don't you understand? There's no more potatoes. Jesus married Joseph and the donkey. The potatoes are dying. It must have been a virus spread by the Protestants to force us from our ancestral home and divide us as a nation and a people.
The English bastards!
English? They're just as Irish as we are. They've lived here for over 500 years. Without potatoes, we'll starve. No, we live in Ireland and we'll eat fish and no one will starve.
I curse the land!
I curse the ground.
Well, boy?
But they want to begin a new tradition of peace and mutual disarmament and not be ruined by centuries of hate and bloodshed.
Shut your festering gob. Who do you think you are, Sinead O'Connor? Next thing you know, you'll be cursing the Pope.
No, I curse the land, I curse the ground, I curse the British passage to all their fields. Chapter 4, The Information Age. The church is intolerant and the world is still run by a handful of wealthy white men.
Houston, we are nearing the surface of the moon. Begin separation rockets. Over.
Firing separation rockets. Over.
Houston, we have reached the surface of the moon. This is one small step for man.
Houston, I think we have a problem. I think the biggest problem is that no one can understand a word because we're covering our mouths and pinching our nose. Over.
Sorry, I couldn't understand that. You're covering your mouth and pinching your nose. Over.
Screw it.
Houston, we are leaving the surface of the moon, so I guess we better fire rockets. Believe it or not, we came in peace for all mankind.
And womankind. Commander, tonight I feel a lot like John Glenn.
How's that?
Getting way too old for this crap.
Houston, we're headed home.
And this is the place where we make the bombs and the nuclear missiles. Isn't it funny that woman discovers radioactivity and uses it to cure disease while men use it to build bombs? Well, not funny, haha. Funny total global destruction. And this show does need a big finish, so I'm going to blow you all to smithereens. Boom!
Professor, I have a question.
Why is it English?
Professor, I have a question to ask of you.
You've stolen my German accent.
No, this is my German accent. I am Dr. Robert Oppenheimer.
He was American.
Yeah, but they don't know this, so who cares?
Wait, that's the great lesson of Western civilization.
What's that?
Well, there's always another explorer, an inventor, a more worn prejudice. Back then we had Alexander the Fabulous.
Now Ellen DeGeneres.
Exactly. Back then we had a war between the Jews and Arabs.
And now we have a war between the Jews and the Arabs.
Exactly, and the church is still intolerant and the world will be run by a handful of wealthy white men. Thank you.